I had no idea that I was going to have to make this video. Here we are. I don't even know. I'm surprised. I shouldn't be. Today is Friday. DCFS showed up here at Noah's parents' house a few days ago. I was in my room eating mac and cheese, and I heard the dogs barking, so I knew someone was here. And then after about like 15 minutes, Noah comes into my room and he was like, Alex, like, DCFS is out here. Could you please, like, come out here? They want to talk to you. And I was like, haha, this is like, you're joking, right? Like, this can't be for real. And he was like, no, like, yeah, that, like, he was like being so serious. And I'm like, okay, like, oh, I come out into the living room and the DCFS person is there, and she's like, hey, like, I just talked to Noah and I want to talk to you, if that's okay. I was like, yeah, of course. So like, all the dogs were barking, like, people were over. It was like kind of chaotic, and I'm like, yeah, come in here so we have some privacy. And I had the entire conversation on recording, so I know verbatim what the report said, and the person that made the report exactly what they call the hotline inside. So she was basically told me what the report said, which was essentially that someone called and had a concern about Ari being unsupervised by the pool because she's able to roll over and crawl, and there isn't like a fence around our pool. First of all, Ari cannot crawl, and second of all, when she is on tummy time near the pool, she is always under supervision, not by just me, but by the several adults that live here. This was obviously a troll from, I don't know, TikTok, my Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Over 4 platforms, I have about probably almost 2 million followers. It could have been from anywhere, but it was obviously a troll from the internet because they specifically mentioned this photo I posted where Noah was throwing Ari up in the air in the pool, like how you do when you have a baby, and she was literally like probably an inch in the air, like it was like barely in the air. You see these parents throwing their kids like 10 feet in the air. It wasn't even that. She was like barely out of his arms, and I posted it because it was so cute. In the report it said, oh yeah, Noah is like on drugs throwing Ari around in the pool, which isn't true. They also said in the report that the mom is paralyzed. I'm not paralyzed, I have SMA. And that I ride with Ari on my dirty wheelchair without her like belted to me, and it's unsafe. So I'm like, So I told the DCFS person, like, you know, I've been through this in Chicago. I have an online presence, and these are merely trolls just trying to cause havoc in our lives. I'm like, yeah, we were under investigation, you know, in Chicago, and all the cases were unfounded. And she was a really nice lady, very sweet, just like, it was honestly way more chill than in Chicago. Like, in Chicago, I felt like super intimidated. Maybe that's because like I had just given birth and it like came out of left field. Like, I was postpartum, Ari wasn't even home from the NICU, and like I was like, oh my god, someone's trying to take my baby. I've had experience with this already, so I guess this time around I was better. I was better equipped to handle the situation, which I am so thankful for. She immediately told me, we don't have any concerns, like there's no concern about you holding her, as it said in the report. And I was like, yeah, I mean, she's my baby, I hold her, and if I don't feel safe or like she is secure on my lap, I don't hold her. And whenever I am holding her, just for extra precaution, I make sure that an adult that's able-bodied is nearby in case I need something. So that wasn't an issue. And then she asked me about Noah. And I'm like, yeah, he did throw her up in the pool, like how you do with your baby. Like, I don't think that's against the law. And she's like, no, it's not, but it was more of a concern about how the person mentioned that he's a drug addict. So she asked me about his drug history, if he's been in rehab, blah, blah, blah. And he's been sober since we've been living here, and I told her that. So that was covered. And then she asked about, like, the supervision within the house of, like, in general, if Ari's, like, left unattended, which she never is. We live with 6 adults in this household, and the DCFS woman interviewed every single person that lives here. We spoke with her, answered her questions, and then they basically are like, yeah, here in Florida, we assess if there's an immediate threat, which there isn't, or there could be a potential future threat to the child's safety. And they're like, in both cases, like, we really don't see that there is. So they write up the notes about all the interviews within the people in the household. And she gave me some forms, and then she left, and that was it. It was very, very disheartening and unfair that we're having to go through this again, because people on the internet have no lives and are bitter. I hardly think anyone on the internet that sees my content is worried about Ari's safety. I think they're trying to insert themselves into our lives and cause havoc and pain and discomfort. So thank you to whoever who made that call for letting me speak on this issue, because it is an issue where people on the internet post content and then people make false reports to DCFS services, wasting taxpayers' money, sending them to a household where they're not needed, taking their time away from a child who really does need those services and who is in danger. So before you make a call to DCFS about someone because you don't like them on the internet, think about how that is taking away from a child who actually needs those services. And I really hope that there could be some sort of oversight within this issue in the future about how they are called out to come to houses based on, internet trolls. And they're just doing their job. They don't know that I'm a creator on the internet and that this person's a troll. They have no idea. So they have to investigate. And, we expect to get letters that everything is basically over with. And, we'll have 2 unfounded DCFS cases on us. And she did mention previous call to DCFS about Noah throwing Ari up in the air in the pool. And they said that was like, they didn't care, like they're like, whatever. But the second call that was made was more detailed. So basically they have to like come out it's the law, it's how their institution works legally. So I did not think that this was going to happen, but it did. And people are doing this to our family when we are more than capable of raising our beautiful daughter. And for anyone that's like, oh no, it wasn't a false report, so you can't pursue criminal or legal action. It is a false report because Noah was not on drugs. That was an assumption that was made. And also, Ari is not crawling, and that was outlined in the report. So those two things were lies and based on assumptions. So